Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Easy Beasy podcast, where we love to keep it nice and easy. I'm your co-host, Zayo, as always, joined by the wonderful Brandon
Yay, what's up?
and my good pal, Lauren. How you doing, my friend?
I'm just a pal today.
Yes, you're just a pal today. You're just a buddy, pal.
Wow.
um,
So little.
I'm sorry. How are you guys doing today? How are you
Pretty
two doing?
good. Pretty good.
Decent. You?
Great. I just want to give a quick shout out to Brandon. It was his birthday 2 days ago, so happy belated birthday, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
What would you mind telling the audience how old you're turning? Or you,
I guess.
you're
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna get right
500?
here. Let's say I'm Michael Jordan.
He's on his Jordan year. He's on his Jordan year today this year. So you know what I'm saying? Give a quick shout out to the boy. You know what I'm saying? Always got to celebrate birthdays around here. That was so unenthusiastic, Lauren. That was so. If I did that same woohoo on your birthday, you would be like picking me up and throwing me across the the Zoom.
Throw you from the half court.
Throwing me from half court. Yes, we're just sticking with the basketball
across the
analogies
football field. But no, genuinely, I am happy for you, Brandon. I'm glad you made it another year.
Across the football field, across the basketball court, I'm glad we're talking about we're talking about courts because there's been a topic that we were just discussing kind of casually, and it's so funny how this turned out. I don't know how many of you guys watch baseball. I don't watch it that often. I've been to a few games here or there. I watch it sometimes, but one thing that I always question, and you guys can attest this, we had this conversation, like, why is it such a casual thing to be at a baseball game, sitting in the crowd when you have foul balls coming at you at like 60, 70, 80, whatever, however fast miles per hour.
Fast, yes.
And it's just like, let's just chill in the audience. We have these flying death balls, shooting at us, and there's just nothing about it. And I always thought, maybe I'm just a crazy one here because no one really cares.
Honestly,
so maybe I shouldn't, right?
I used to be a baseball fan as a child, and I never thought about it genuinely.
Yeah. So we were talking about it, and I was just like, wow, I guess that's just how it is. But it turns out there's someone out there who is advocating for knowledge about this issue, and not only knowledge, but for something to be done, because it's a lot more to it than just than people think. And I want to know about this issue as well as just the culture surrounding baseball and things of that nature. So we brought on a very special guest today. Everyone say hello to Jordan. How you doing, my man?
Hey.
My man here did you write an article, or was that just a piece was put out about what you said?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, and happy birthday, Brendan. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
No problem.
Maybe I should just start from the beginning.
Go ahead, my man, because this topic, we brought an expert here, guys.
Yeah, you got an expert.
All right. I'll hit him with as many questions as I can. And you guys hit us with questions in the chat or any comments in the chat about this. So yeah, go ahead, my man.
Well, I appreciate it. I am a longtime baseball fan. I still am, but watching games today, I watch it a little differently because there's a lot of work that needs to be done. This foul ball issue, which most baseball fans have heard about foul balls and catching foul balls. But most people who think of foul balls are thinking about coming to the game with their glove and making a catch or catching catching a ball with their beer or in their knapsack. But there's another whole side of foul balls. So most people really think of foul balls with fun. They don't think of foul balls with danger. Um, and I had a couple of experiences, throughout the years that reinforced that. And I always thought that there was something terribly wrong about the status quo on most fans coming to games. And like I said, thinking about catching a ball for the sake of fun. And there was a situation or an incident that happened that got me really going in 2019. A little girl, probably about 2 years old, was slammed with a foul ball in Houston. And it got a lot of publicity, and it was on the Good Morning shows the next day, national TV. And, for a few minutes, it was in the news. But when you look further into it, you realize there was no initiative to prevent that from happening again. You would think if a brick came down and came close to hitting any one of us, nobody would be walking down that street until those bricks were fastened tightly. And but in the situation of foul balls, unfortunately, it could have happened in the very next pitch. Once the little girl was rushed to the hospital, well, guess what happened? The batter came up again. So it's not like the situation was remedied right away. And one's to say, why hasn't it been remedied at all?
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Baseball has been around for a really long time. I'm not sure the exact number. I know it's most certainly over 100 years.
Yeah.
So why hasn't this been, since the game has been around this long, how come this hasn't been like an issue that's been brought up or been talked about, or maybe it has in the past? I don't know, but it feels like there isn't really much talk or discussion about kind of the safety of fans.
Sure. Well, it really does come down to the bottom line. As I've done my research, I found so many articles of isolated incidences all throughout these minor league cities and major league cities where there's been injuries and lawsuits and people who feel very bitter about the game of baseball, but that doesn't affect the bottom line. So if somebody in baseball goes to the emergency room every week or every other week, that's once a week or once every 2 weeks. So that's, in a 26 and a half week season, people say, well, only 15 people had a crushed eye or something. I mean, hello, that's those are 15 people whose souls are damaged. They're bitter. They don't get even medical paid for because of this thing called the baseball rule, which I'm hoping we can get into a little bit. They don't even turn on the TV anymore. Sort of like it just wipes away their interest from baseball. And there's a woman from 1979 who was 14 years old who I interviewed for my book. She was relieved when she had children that her son chose not to play baseball. So it has an effect on the individual, of course, and it's passed down. In 2019, somebody from Deadspin, Kelsey McKinney, reported 15 people were seriously injured at major league games. And that's in 2019, and that's in 26 and a half weeks. So that's almost like every other week. And that's not even counting the minor leagues where there's 3 times as many games. So who knows how many head injuries or serious injuries there were in 2019, the last time there was a full season. Yeah. And I can go on and on about more statistics.
What is the baseball rule? You mentioned that a little bit earlier. What is that?
Sure. So the baseball rule is probably one of the only commercial establishments where since 1913, speaking about how old baseball is, this rule is 108 years old. And it more or less disallows the victim of a foul ball injury any recourse to recover any kind of bills for medical or any kind of liable situation. And there's been cases, usually the lawyers who are receiving the complaint of the plaintiff or the person complaining about their issue, they usually don't even make it out of their lawyer's office. The lawyer says, I can't take the case because baseball has something which is called the baseball rule, and it's on the back of the ticket. And today people will see it if they search for it. Nobody really does on the back of the e-ticket. You got to go searching for it. But it clearly states that they are not responsible for causing you havoc. And and they've been getting away with that for years. And it's rare when somebody gets any sort of gratitude, justice kind of thing. And we can talk about that a little bit. But most people, like I said, their lawyers won't even take the case. So
that goes to show
ahead,
how far capitalism will go to avoid helping people when it hurts them, because that is just a scam. That's their way of not having to pay people for injuries that they're causing because they're not having baseball safe for people.
It's interesting because you mentioned the statistic of 15 people in 2019. The MLB is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and you would think that as someone who's providing entertainment, who people are coming to pay, they're coming to your venue to be entertained, to be, to watch their favorite teams. They're paying customer.
Yes.
To think that something that happens on your watch, in your venue, and because of what's happening in the game, because of something that's happened, you would think that there would be some sort of liability or anything like that, but it just goes to show you kind of how much this is kind of like no one's really speaking about this, because it's something that, honestly speaking, I would really think that there would be some sort of something that the MLB would provide, in terms of compensation for someone who's going through something like this.
Yes.
It's kind of a miracle that hasn't this, because this does sound like a slippery slope thing to me, honestly. Again, like, I don't know, I'm just speaking from an outsider's perspective, because okay, we're not responsible for you getting hit with a foul ball, right? It's like, okay, because that's just what happens. All right, but then what's the difference between that and, okay, if somebody's seat doesn't work, or their seat breaks, and or like the railing, like, there's some mishap there and somebody falls.
Can I tell you?
So like the liability, like what are we?
Yeah.
What are the differences here?
Well, there's 53,000 foul balls per year. Maybe 20,000 of them reach the seats. How many of them are hooking at 80 or 100 miles per hour? Enough. So that just tells you right then and there, these are predictable and foreseeable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like it's an illegal situation. It's always been an illegal situation. That's my perception. How can you allow a business to allow bricks or speeding balls to reach people on such a regular basis? This isn't every 50 years that one ball is going to travel at X amount of speed. This is every single game. Every single game, there's 53,000 foul balls. Maybe 20,000 of those reach the seats in the major leagues. So same thing in the minor leagues. It's 3 times as many more games, where netting conditions are worse. They're all, in my mind, operating an illegal operation. So, it's just that the general public hasn't gotten the epiphany as of yet. Once these growing families, which is what we're doing here, once they realize that they could have been part of a weekly or a biweekly statistic, they're going to get pissed, and they should, because they'll ask the question, you mean baseball had prior knowledge that my child was potentially in the shooting gallery? Yes, they did. And they didn't do anything about it to tell us we shouldn't even bring our children? No, they didn't. They actually encouraged you to, engage with the phone and join fan clubs for children, but they never ever said, please don't bring your children here. It's ridiculous.
So what do I'm curious as to what do other baseball fans feel about this? Like if you've like, I'm sure you know other baseball fans, or you know other people who are into the sport, or you've observed what people say about this issue. So what is the common response you kind of get, or is there like support for this, or are people apathetic? Like what's the common response?
Right. Well, amongst the fans, most fans haven't been as vocal as I have.
Right.
In regards to who knows this prior knowledge, everyone inside the game knows this. They take certain steps. They make their own families are sitting behind nets. I mean, anytime somebody gets hurt, you'll hear players get all emotional and say they should just put a net up around the whole ballpark, or I won't allow my mom and dad to sit there. Yeah, they know this in advance. Mom and dads come see their children play. They're professionals, whether they're in their 20s or 30s, but they are informed where to sit, where most of the 70 million fans are thinking about going to the game and foul ball and fun, not foul ball and danger. But those families of players and those families of journalists and those families of broadcasters and those families of owners, they certainly know. That's what I have to say about that.
Not just that, but I have another thing.
Sure.
Well, before you do that, I just want to draw, if I can, Lauren, I just want to draw a similarity here, because this kind of reminds me of, because I'm definitely, in terms of sports, I'm definitely into basketball the most. That's kind of the sport I have the most knowledge about, at least. And this kind of reminds me of the issue that was talked about kind of sporadically, of players running into cameramen. That was an issue that was talked about for a little bit. That where whenever there would be an incident where a player would fall and they'll get injured, because the cameramen, they have a baseline around the court, and the cameramen typically are like right there, like on the ends of the baseline. So if a player is like, falls out of bounds or whatever, the camera's right there. And a lot of the times there'll be incidents where the players will fall onto the camera, or something will happen, they'll get hurt. And then afterwards you hear about it and they say, oh, like they should move the camera. They should, why are people so close to the court? Like, why, when there's like, there can easily, players can get hurt, they can get injured, something can happen that can be their career over something that's easily preventable. And then after that, it's just crickets and no one says anything. And I find that so interesting, because I feel like maybe it's not there, it happens so sporadically that these things like rarely get the attention that they deserve. I mean, it's just an interesting parallel I kind of thought about. You can go ahead, Lauren. I'm sorry. I just had to
Thank you. My thing was, isn't it popular culture for people to sit in areas to catch the foul balls? So isn't that putting more people in danger?
Good question.
Because I was thinking about that too. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I'm saying, most people think of foul balls and fun, and they come into the game and they're like, they don't want to get hit with a 100-mile-an-hour ball in the face or have.
But I don't think they think about that part.
They don't think about that part. That's the issue. Yeah, like I said earlier, before we got on the air together, I said that ESPN produced a very well documented piece, and it was in line with what I'm thinking here at foulballsafetynow.com. People who are listening, please go to foulballsafetynow.com. It's a 5-minute piece done by ESPN a couple of years ago. There were 750,000 views. There was 4,300 comments, but 80% of the comments are negative. They're victim blaming the ones that have been hurt by the foul balls. There's a lot of transformation that needs to happen, and people like who have been involved with me, and I only have a handful of people, including Erwin Goldblum, who's been to 6 or 7 of my Zoom calls this year. His wife was killed at the Dodger game in 2018, 79-year-old woman. And Mrs. Goldblum died. She died a few days after she was hit in the head. And I call it the chorus of common sense. These are 5 or 6 people that are making impact statements, that are telling these 80%ers it's not a free ride at the game. Your lives will be changed forever. And, and if they're coming to the game and not even thinking of the danger, it makes what I compare baseball to big tobacco. If anyone looks at the website at foulballsafetynow.com, in 1970s, when I was growing up, maybe there was a little thing on the side of the pack of the cigarettes that said, smoking causes this. But, baseball, same thing. They know in advance that people are going to be maimed. Like I said, they've been operating without a license, and everyone in the game has maintained it. Everyone, including journalists. Nobody has put their foot down, drew a line in the sand, and said no more children being maimed. 1979, I interviewed a lady from when she was 14 in 1979, Jenny. She'll be in my book, and the stories just keep coming. And if I've interviewed 10 people now, there's another 100 or another 200, another 600 people that need to find me at foulballsafetynow.com and give us your impact statement, because it will create an outrage amongst the fans, and fans will realize that they were duped. You may have never been hurt or never hit with a foul ball, but once they realize that they were possibly part of a weekly or bi-weekly statistic, they'll realize all their good times with families growing up was under false pretenses. No one can look back on your memories thinking like, well, we had no idea we could have been part of this weekly or bi-weekly statistic. I think most families, when looking back, once they know this, once they get into this conversation, and they'll put 2 and 2 together and say, all those people knew that we could have been part of this emergency room statistic, and they did nothing.
But
exactly.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking in circles. So go ahead.
No, the thing about it is, I don't know if people would be so open to it because baseball culture is so thick that it'll take them a minute to genuinely not victim blame people, but realize the statistics and how often people can be hurt and how often people are being hurt. Like, this is our first time genuinely thinking about this.
Yeah.
I can imagine like serious baseball fans as well.
Yeah. And I just want to say, for me personally, that the thing that sticks out to me is that the MLB they have zero liability if anything does happen to you. That's the thing that's really sticking out to me, because it's like, but
I think they're operating in an illegal place to begin with. So, they're not responsible for liability, but they shouldn't have us in a position to begin with. So it's almost like you're not going to get in car insurance with a stolen car.
Right.
Right? They're not going to give you insurance. So it's like an illegal operation to begin with. So you're maiming somebody. Yeah, of course you're not paying their bill, but in a way, it's a commercial business that should not have been allowed to operate in the conditions that it had been for all these years.
So then what do you say to the people who are like, well, I like to, catch foul balls, and like, I've had some of my greatest memories, catching one, and like I have one that's, autographed from so-and-so player. Like, if you're like, how are you going to take that away from me? Like, that's a part of the game. Like, what do you say to people like who have that position? Because I'm sure there is going to be a lot of people, with that mindset as soon as you present something like that to them.
Sure. Well, the good thing is that 70 million fans can still make their own decisions today for their families going forward. How they want to look at their memories. Hey, I'm just letting you know, and I'm letting us all know, I believe they're tainted, because if you had any real idea that your child could have been clipped with a ball, you're going to think again, you're going to be like, wow. And and you'll ask, the first question you would ask is, and you had prior knowledge, MLB? Yes, you did. You did. You definitely did. And what did they do? They implied on microprint, where nobody ever sees it, on the back of the ticket or on the e-ticket. Imagine if they ever put it up on the big scoreboard, the little microprint, and all of a sudden families would be saying, maybe we shouldn't be here. It would raise the level of assumed risk. It would raise it to a place where parents and families had never really taken a look at it or thought about it like that way. They're like, well, why are they making those letters much larger? So you could finally read it and understand it.
Yes, that's my.
It would be a cool thing to do. You get a hacker and you get them to put that little back of the ticket up on the scoreboard. You'll have these families running away right away. Like, what
that's my perspective on this.
Freak out. Yeah. That's a fantasy, but you never know.
Yes. Yeah. So like my perspective on this, so like there's a lot of blind people who like baseball too.
Yeah.
Me. So basically, like, one, if the ticket is in that large print, low vision users, they won't be able to read it. No contrast or anything. If you're totally blind and you want to read it, there's no braille on it. So and we can't see the ball coming. No person could be just saying, "Hey man, look, a ball's coming your way."
Right. Yeah. Right.
They might they're probably trying to catch it. So this is crazy.
I know, and it's unfortunate, but there's no conversation. It's an inconvenient truth that I'm trying to convey. Now, I've interviewed some minor league players for the book, and they've gone on the record. I've interviewed 2 ESPN broadcasters, and who I hold the minor leaguers and the broadcasters to a higher awareness expectations, and they were very good with me. They were very transparent. They told me that they have anxiety, the minor leaguers, knowing that they're in a situation, they're all bearing the burden that one of them could be the next one to do the maiming. And that's not a good feeling to be in. If you guys recall the situation in Houston from 2 years ago, that player who hurt the little girl, Almora, he's one of 600 or 700 players. The minor leaguers, they're younger, and there's just about 5,000 minor leaguers all looking for those 600 or 700 jobs. So the minor leaguers they internalize it. I'm sure they're human. They feel bad, but they're not going to blow the whistle and say, wait a second, my mom and dad.
Because that's their career.
That's their career. They're trying to be major leaguers. But the major leaguers, I hold to a higher standard, because they should finally be correcting the dysfunctional situation, because they were once minor leaguers. So the players union and the 600 players who make millions of dollars should be finally taking the burden off the younger people and the fans, of course, and making sure that the nets are certified as safe, that all can enjoy the game. They haven't. They're still drinking the Kool-Aid. It's so powerful. So the point about Almora, when he felt horrible after he hurt that little girl, if the team doctor or psychologist who talked to him afterwards and said, hey, I know you feel bad, if he wasn't honest with him, then he deserves a little bit of scrutiny. Because I think the only 2 things that the psychologist or doctor could have said to Almora, like, hey, I know you feel horrible, he should have said something to him like, hey, man, this is all 600, 700 of us, all of us. And don't put it on your own shoulders. We are playing in a dysfunctional situation, and we're all part of it together. So it could have been the next batter that had done what you had done. So these are the 2 options that I see I have for you. One, because this is a dysfunctional situation. So the 2 options I present to you is, one, I would have no problem if you did not want to be in this situation and you left the game of baseball. Or 2, get together with your brothers and say, enough. We're not going to maim anyone anymore. And that's it. And don't play any more games until the nets are certified as safe. Now, did the team doctor, a psychologist say that to him? I don't think so. I think it was left all on his own shoulders, and he probably felt horrible for a while, maybe still does. But everyone should feel equally as horrible.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's a dysfunctional situation, man. And that's it. Don't put it all on yourself. You're here. We're here together. This is dysfunctional. Now, what are your options? But don't go home feeling bad for the rest of your life. You could be proactive and don't put it all upon yourself.
Do you think that the players
situation?
Do you think that the players will? Well, two questions really. Do you get the sense overall that the players would hold a more that would hold a more favorable position on this issue, and overall as a collective? And then two, do you think that is that really where we'll get like the will the issue get the attention it deserves? Like what do you think it will be through that, or is it just any way possible really?
Well, there's been 3 or 4 collective bargainings every 5 years. The players will negotiate for more money and more of this and more of that. And it's been brought up by the players to ask for netting. So, but it's really never gone to a place where Independent Netting Council is right here and coming in to take care of it, because it is a situation that can prevent serious injury. And nobody's addressing how to prevent serious injury. So I call that like tokenism. It was almost like, we'll bring it up and we'll see what the owners say. And nothing's gotten done. That stuff will be in my book. Please go to foulballsafetynow.com. And I don't have a release date on the book, but there's petitions that folks can sign. There's 2 petitions that I have. One is to repeal the baseball rule, so please sign there. And the other one is just to ask for more nets. And let's get a whole bunch of signatures together. But no, the players, only in the reaction because they feel bad after they hurt somebody. But they know, and their families know where to sit. It's like, please, it's a double standard, and it's not right that most fans don't get the same message from the players that they give their own families. It's not right. And they're going out there and they're hacking and they're hitting it as hard as they can. And today in the minor leagues, when I made phone calls, if everyone goes to the website at foulballsafetynow.com, I did a major league report and minor league report 4 months ago or so when the season started. And I didn't go spend 6 months on that report. I made phone calls. I made 30 phone calls to the major leagues. I attempted to reach 120 minor league cities for a total of 150. I probably connected with about 90 or 100 minor league cities. And the questions I'd ask them is, where do your nets go? And in the minor leagues, I found at least 42 out of the nearly 100 minor league cities still had no netting past dugouts. Where did that little girl get crushed in Houston in 2019? Past the end of the dugouts. Oof. And the fans are still not asking for nets, because when I also ask where the nets go, they're like, "Oh, you're the first person to ask us that." I was like, "Oh, really?" So that means the families are not really demanding it, right? There's no imperative or whatever to ask that question. And the major leagues, where you would think you look at the seating charts, because they have seating charts and where do you want to sit. Only like 3 out of the 30 teams had any indication of where the nets were. So that's also telling the person looking to buy tickets in those major markets, not meaning if 70 million people were demanding where the nets were, that all 30 of the websites would have some much more transparent information about it.
Of course.
Yeah. Right? So it's not really demanding it. So that's what these conversations are doing. I could go on and on and on about children's statistics and the NBC report implied 4,500 people that reported to first aid from 2012 to 2019. And that's only major leagues, 3 times as many more games. What are we talking? 13,500. Now, I'm not saying they all had crushed heads and lost eyes,
Right.
but
this is an issue.
They reported to first aid
Hey.
over those years. Crazy.
And I'm really glad. I think it's so dope that you're very passionate about an issue that needs to be brought awareness, because that's how these things start.
Yeah,
it has to start from somewhere.
A lot of people know about this, and they know I'm coming, so it's all right. If they don't want to have this conversation with me, they know it. They don't want to go past B, if you know what I'm saying. They don't want to go. They're at A, and they're like, "I gotta go." Yeah, I know you gotta go. You don't want to. You don't want to talk. What's your feeling? What do you tell your own families? I gotta go. Yeah.
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 So I'm glad that you're not brushing past this, and definitely, guys, go ahead and check out his stuff. We'll make sure to plug him at the end too as well.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, this is definitely something I had questions about, and you honestly answered pretty much all of my questions.
This is really a great opportunity.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Thank you. And if anyone's been hurt, I was just going to say, if anyone's been hurt by a foul ball, or anyone knows anyone who's been hurt by a foul ball, this is your chance to certainly get something off your chest. Maybe you want to contribute to the book. You can talk to me off the record. You can talk with Brendan, who's also another Brendan I work with. Brendan's a good writer. And he conducts professional interviews. And there's so many articles out there, and unfortunately, these articles are very short-lived, and nobody's really addressed it from all the angles. And I hope we continue to do that. And this was really a good opportunity. So please go to Foul Ball Safety Now. And I'm Jordan Skopp. And can't thank you guys enough.
All right. Thank you, man. We want to keep you on.
Sure.
For the last part of our show.
Sure.
But first off, I would like to go over to my main man, Brandon, because we have a little time for our little segment. Yes. Here you go, my man.
Welcome to Catching Up with That Blind Guy. So basically, I'm going to give you the hot takes that I've been seeing lately. So let's go with it. Hey, if you guys seen the 25th anniversary of Blue Coos when Steve came back, mixed reactions, I know, right, guys?
So Steve came back, and I was I feel like everyone in our generation was a little heartbroken, a little shook. Yes. I kind of felt personally attacked when he said, "Look at all that you've done," and I looked down and I had Cheeto dust on my shirt, and I was just like,
my
wow.
wallet's empty too. There's not.
All right, moving on. Now, you guys, if y'all are Matrix fans, y'all seen the new trailer or the new one? I need to go back and watch the reruns and everything of the previous one, because this one seems pretty lit. I think I'm actually gonna go to the movie theater to watch this one. What do you guys think about the new Matrix movie?
The Matrix is a very iconic franchise.
That's the one with the 2 different colored Skittle candies, right?
Don't do this. Don't do this. We're gonna have people up in our comment section, bro. Don't do this. Yes. I've never watched The Matrix before. All right, moving on.
Hey, shout out to the blind lady who taught me about the new LG smart washer. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can watch my clothes independently. Shout out to Apple for the next event. Probably a new MacBook, iOS 15, and the brand new iPhone 13. Me and Zay, we got some hatred to that thing. So,
we'll get into that. Hopefully, when Apple has their event, everybody, of course, it's always exciting when you get a new iPhone. So, yeah. All right, I appreciate that, my man. Now, Jordan, we always do this.
Okay.
With our guests, we like to have a little fun at the end.
Okay.
And so, I had Lauren ask you about certain topics that you have some sort of knowledge about, that you're pretty knowledgeable. Well, you would say you were knowledgeable.
Okay.
And one of them stuck out to me because Lauren actually got quizzed on this topic a few episodes back, all the way in season 2, episode 3.
Yes.
And it was actually about American geography, right, Lauren? That's what you got quizzed on? American geography. It was actually supposed to be American history,
Hamilton.
but there were just actually, it was really supposed to be Hamilton.
I'm so glad this is finally on the record. Thank you.
But yeah, listen, it was actually rigged, guys. It was a conspiracy. She was right.
But it was a trial for her to see if she could hold up to the Easy BC podcast to be a co-host.
Yeah. So here we are. Here she is on the other side. But that will never remove the shame of that incident. So they I'm sorry. So my man, I would like to ask you one question.
Sure.
Do you know what you're saying? This is our game show segment of the Easy Beasy podcast, where we ask our guests about a particular topic that they feel the most knowledgeable about. And in this case, my friend, we're going to give you American geography. How do you feel about American geography as a topic? Do you feel like you can list all the state capitals, were you that kid in school, you knew where everything was?
I mean, I think growing up as a sports fan, just knowing all the cities and what states they came from, and maybe I'll be able to take a crack at some of the capitals. I'll take a stab at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and we'll test your knowledge on that. There are 10 questions.
Ooh.
10 questions. You have 2 lifelines, and you have 2 lives as well. So you can get 2 questions wrong, and you'll still be fine. Your lifelines are that you can ask the audience for assistance, and we'll relay that information to you if you need us to, or you can ask us for a clue or hint.
Okay.
So yeah, are you ready, my friend?
I am.
Remember, audience, everybody out there watching and listening, if Jordan makes it all the way to question 10 and gets it correct, he will receive 1 million respect points.
Respect points.
All right.
We don't have $1 million over here, so
okay.
You just have to settle with respect points. I don't know if that's legal tender.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Sounds good.
All right, my friend.
Okay.
Let's do this thing. Question number 1. I love this music so much. Oh my goodness. It's so unnecessarily dramatic. All right. Question number 1. Through which national park does the Continental Divide not pass? Ooh. The answer choices are Glacier, Rocky Mountain, Yellowstone, or Yosemite. Hit you with a good one right out the gate.
Glacier.
Ooh, he said Glacier with the quickness. Is that your final answer, my good man?
Yeah.
All right. That answer is... I'd like to have that dramatic suspense here.
Dun, dun.
Ooh, incorrect.
Oh.
The correct answer is Yosemite.
Oh.
Lauren is over there very quiet because she's doing a little happy dance right now because she had these exact same questions. I'm not rooting for his downfall. Yes, okay? You are. Don't lie.
Just quietly observing.
You know what, my friend? I'm rooting for you, good sir.
Yes, we are. Right.
You're still in great shape. You have 1 life left. You have 2 lifelines. You can use it anytime. Or you can exchange both of those. I forgot to mention. You can exchange both of those for a Google search. So free answer.
Okay. All right. Let's see how we do.
Let's see how we do. I love the energy.
All right.
Question number 2. On which peninsula in Washington would you find the Olympic Mountains? Is it Seattle Peninsula? Puget? I'm not sure. Peninsula? Olympic Peninsula? or Washington Peninsula?
What was the name of the peninsula that's in question?
It is spelled, and I'm sorry, this is why kids stay in school. Stay in school, kids. Puget Peninsula.
I'm just gonna go with.
Do you want to use a lifeline? Are you sure? Are you not sure? What's your thought process here?
I'm just gonna go with Seattle because I know somebody lives out there, and I think I've heard him say that he goes out there. That's Brendan, my writer friend.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna call him and ask him now, but I'll go with Seattle. I'll go with Seattle. One for Seattle.
We don't have that call a friend built in.
Yeah,
I think if we did that, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire would actually sue us.
I don't think so.
They would actually.
I don't think so.
All right. Your answer was Seattle Peninsula.
Yeah.
That is. Oof. Also incorrect. The correct answer is
Olympia.
Olympic. Yes. Yes. This time is. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
These are some tough ones we're throwing at you at from the get go.
That's good. It's good.
Don't worry, man. I'm pretty sure I got those wrong too. When I took the test.
I'll be feeling informed when I tell my friend tomorrow. I'll say I'll act like I had no prior knowledge.
All right. Question number 3. In what American state would you find Denali? Arkansas, Alabama, Alaska, or Arizona?
I thought you were going to give me none of the above.
None of the above.
I'm taking that one.
Denali. Does that sound?
I'm gonna go with either Alaska or Arizona.
Okay.
I'll go Alaska.
All right. My man's just gunning for it. I really like this actually.
Yes.
Alaska. That answer is correct.
Oof.
All right. Nice, man.
All right.
Good one. Right. This is fantastic.
Do I get any credit? Do I get any credit for eliminating 2 right off the bat, and then it's only half?
I mean, if
that's
it's,
what I did.
I'll let Lauren decide. Lauren, do you want to just let him?
You'll get 5 respect points from me. Okay.
That. By the way, I believe as of 2019, you can exchange 1 million respect points for half a penny in legal tender. So I'm not too sure what the 5 will do. Right. Maybe you can.
I'm 1 for 3. I may not be passing in the high school, but we'll keep it going.
All right, gotta love it. All Question number 4. You remember you still have 2 lifelines here.
Yeah.
All right. This one is slightly historical. No, it's pretty historical actually, but it is have to do with the state. Which state ceded from Virginia in 1863? Was it North Carolina, the District of Columbia, Maryland, or West Virginia?
I gotta go with the John Denver tune, West Virginia. Country Road, take me home.
Hey. All right.
I gotta go with that one. West Virginia.
All right. I can't fight with that logic. Is that your final answer, good sir?
Yeah, I gotta go with that.
All right. That is correct.
Woo!
Ooh. You're off to a shaky start, my friend. But he's
shooting it.
He's bringing it in there.
I want to pass high school. Let's go.
All right. Question.
Yeah.
Number 5, I believe. Is this 5, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, to the restaurant. Which states? Oh, Lauren, you gotta love this question. I know you remember this one.
God.
Which states does the Natchez Trace Parkway join? Is it Mississippi and Arkansas, Mississippi and Louisiana, Mississippi and Tennessee, or Mississippi and Alabama?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you
Remember,
have
you
two
still have two
lifelines.
lifelines.
I'll lifeline it. I'll lifeline it.
All right.
I got
He's
no
decided
clue.
to use one of his two lifelines, my friend. You can either ask the chat for assistance or ask us for a hint.
Who are the chat forces?
The chat, if you don't have the chat in front of you, we'll pull up the chat, and we're streaming this live, obviously, and we'll have them go ahead, and then they'll go ahead and I'll read some responses.
Yeah, you can do it amongst yourselves. We'll get it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to ask us for a hint. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not help you.
Lauren, you are one salty lady. All right.
No,
you gotta stop. You
the
gotta
answer.
stop. You gotta stop. All right.
All right, Lauren.
I will I'll say this. This state is pretty long. It's a pretty long state.
I think I got that part.
It's well, okay. If I'm being technical,
I got it. I'll go with Tennessee.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. Whoop whoop. Can we get a whoopty whoop?
Whoopty whoop. There you go.
That was terrible. My goodness. What was that?
Man, you wanted
Y'all got it.
Whoop.
There you go. We got a whoopty whoop for him because he is halfway through. And on to question number 6. How you feeling so far?
Good.
Great, fantastic. This guy is he's just going with it. Just going with it. It's calm, cool, collected. I gotta love it, man.
Good, yes.
Question number 6.
Yes.
Which I believe this is farther than Lauren gotten hers. So it's not looking too hot for you, man. What do you guys say for yourself, Lauren? What do you guys say?
I don't have anything. Just go.
Let's leave Lauren out of this for right now.
Listen. I wouldn't do this if I didn't have love for you. All right. Okay. Just know that.
Sure.
But question number 6. Now, this is not a hint or anything, but if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. What is the capital of Illinois? Is it Chicago? Is it Springfield? Is it Rockford? Or Urbana? Urbana. Same thing.
I'm gonna go with Springfield.
Ooh. Is that your final answer, good sir?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Go with it.
He chose Springfield,
which is
correct.
Woo!
Nice. You gotta love it. You hesitated for a second there. What were you thinking?
I was thinking Rockford, but then I was like, Rockford, Springfield.
Right.
There's many Springfields. I'm actually in a Springfield right now. I'm going over to my sister's for dinner.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So there you go. The luck of the Springfield.
I am in Springfield, New Jersey.
Very nice. Shout out to all the Springfields in the United States of America.
There's plenty of them. Yeah.
There's plenty of them, apparently. I didn't know that.
Also,
Yeah.
shout out to The Simpsons specifically.
That's it. That's I heard
Yes.
about that. They had a
Yes.
There you
Springfield
go.
holiday a long, long time ago. Yeah, yeah.
Right. All right.
The Simpsons.
All right. Question number 7.
All
You
right.
made it pretty far, my friend. You have one lifeline remaining, which is
All
to ask
right.
the chat for assistance. You are on question number 7.
Ready.
Let's do it. All right. Question number 7. In which city? Oh, okay. Lauren, don't hate me. You didn't make it. You didn't make it this far for me to give you this one. Don't hate me. In which city would you find the Statue of Liberty?
Wow.
I cannot make this up. I can't make this up.
Kidding me?
I can't make this up.
I mean, giving candy to babies all the day. I mean, what else? You want me to go for that one?
Do you want me to read you the
one?
answer choices or?
No.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think you did.
unless it's seceded from New York
Outrageous.
City and it's its own island, then it's a trick question.
Yeah,
But
it could be a trick question.
I'll go with New York City because I haven't heard the trick question before, and if there was a trick question to it,
Okay.
then I'm guilty.
He's
Maybe
saying
that's
New
the
York
freebie.
City.
I hope so. What? You want to read me the choices? I'll take them.
I mean, if you want to, I mean,
Yeah, I'll take the
all right.
choices. Yeah, what are the choices?
The choices are Philadelphia,
Yes.
Washington, D.C.,
Yes.
Mhm.
San Francisco,
Mhm.
Yes.
and New York City.
I'll go with New York City.
All right. That's a fine answer.
So
I would
say
stretch out
easy
the drama,
questions
but my
at the
sister.
end.
Yeah. Where are we at 8?
He said we're already at 8.
Yeah,
And we are.
I'm 5 for 7, I think. Yeah.
That is correct.
Keep it going.
New York.
Shout out to Alicia. That was a beautiful song. Wow. I'm actually feeling for you, Lauren.
Yes,
I can't lie to you.
He's going in.
Yeah.
Going in.
Listen.
Just continue.
Yeah,
I
with the game.
I don't know what to say. We're on question number 8 or 9.
I like that.
9
I will
now.
have to refer to the panel.
It's 9 now.
It's
Oh.
9.
Oh,
Okay.
number 9.
All right. Question number 9. Now, I will say this. This is the last question you'll be able to use a lifeline.
Your lifeline. So this would be the great time to use it.
So this will be the time to use it if you were going to.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Adaze.
I'm pineapple. Hold on a second. Let me try and figure this out real quick.
All right.
This quiz
well, we
is,
have a pineapple. So how's everyone doing so far today?
You got it. You got to stall better than that, man. You got it. Try.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
All right. I think I found something. No, I didn't.
All right.
I'm keeping up the suspense. This is definitely on purpose. I'm definitely not trying to find historical questions in here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's what they all say.
all right. I think we'll take a little turn on this quiz. And to be fair to Lauren, this kind of happened to her too. We love changing the rules on a whim on this game show. That's why no one takes it seriously, sadly.
They shouldn't take it seriously, nor you.
So I'm going to pivot a little bit, my friend, and ask you a historical question. Is that fine with you?
Yeah.
I like
Which
your ship, man.
Which U.S. state was once part of Mexico? Was it Arizona? Was it Texas? Was it New Mexico? Or was it California?
Texas.
Is that your answer?
It is.
That is correct. Ooh.
Now, hold on.
Oh
That's it.
man.
So, Jordan, this is question 10. This is
Alright.
the final countdown now. If
Go
you get
for it.
this correct, you will become a champion and win 1 million respect points.
Very dramatic. I gotta love it. Are you ready, my friend? It's for
Yes.
all the marbles. If there was such thing as a clutch gene,
You have it.
you would have to use it in this moment.
Yep.
Question number 10. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Which U.S. state is known as the land of 1,000 lakes? Is it Michigan, Rhode Island, Mississippi, or Minnesota?
Ooh.
You have no lifelines. You have no extra lives.
Yeah. I'll go. It's either Michigan or Minnesota. I'm going to go with Michigan.
He's going with Michigan. Is that your final answer, sir?
Michigan. Come on, Michigan.
All right. That answer is incorrect. I'm so sorry. The answer is Minnesota. Oh man. So
Wild.
close. I
don't know why I didn't go in Minnesota.
I mean, wow, that was a nail biter. Honestly,
Yes.
that was a close one.
That's a close
But
one.
you know
I
what?
think I got 7 out of 10. I think I passed high school.
No,
Yes,
you did.
you
In
did.
fact, pass high
And
school, my friend.
yes.
I got to give it up to you.
Yeah.
You know, you may not have received the 1 million respect points, but you definitely earned my respect for the way
Yes.
you tackled this quiz.
And we
my
have
friend.
gained a lot of knowledge from you in this podcast.
Absolutely.
This was tremendous. Anytime you guys want to circle back, thank you so much for this opportunity. And
Go ahead
when do
and
you guys air? When does this air? It airs? Is it live?
It's live every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're here every week. We don't miss a beat.
Beautiful.
All right, go ahead and look at that camera, that camera, that camera. We don't have any cameras around here, but go ahead.
Yeah.
The red carpet is rolled out for you, my friend. Go ahead and shout out whatever you want to shout out, whoever you want to shout out. Go ahead, my friend. The floor is yours.
Oh, hey, come on now. Check out the website. If anyone wants to share some expenses and rent out an airplane with me, check out what I had done. I had towed banners. I rented airplanes and towed banners where they needed to be towed over ballparks that we need to wake up people. So, but all kidding aside, anyone wants to sign a petition, let me know. Have any thoughts, any questions, please bring them on. And I thank you again.
All right. It's really been fun having you on the show. Definitely had a blast here.
I appreciate it.
You guys have anything else to say, Warren, Brandon?
Not at all. I really enjoyed the
before we
message
go-
you just have to share with us.
So who's
You
your
sound
favorite
so
baseball
happy.
team?
My goodness.
Who's my baseball team, Brendan?
Yes.
It's the Mets.
Of course.
New York, come on, guys.
Listen, I'm a fair weather Braves guy.
Okay.
I remember they exist when they're in the playoffs, and then
I got it.
outside of that,
That's
you know
fair.
how it is.
That's fair.
Yes.
So,
And you guys will be able to get me a copy soon, or how does that fly?
If we can we'll send you a link after this.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
all right.
And I'm looking forward to hearing it back and sharing it. And I thank you so much. And if there's any other opportunities that come along, or if something really breaks, I'll let you guys know. But
Please
I'm just
do.
continuing on.
Yes,
So
keep us up to date.
check out the website from time to time. There should be new editions all the time.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's been it. I really appreciate everyone who stopped by live. You guys are the best. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I was actually supposed to say that in the middle of the podcast.
Hey, don't say that now.
But guys, I really appreciate all of you checking us out on YouTube. And as always, keep it easy and keep it beezy. Yeah.